Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Thursday morning after the Ishraaq Salat at the residence of Hazrat Wala. Thursday morning, the 21st of Rabi'ul Akhir 1444, corresponding with the English date 17th of November 2022. Hazrat Wala quotes the ayat of the Quran Majid. The ayat of the Quran Majid. وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ وَلَا تَعْدُ عَيْنَاكَ عَنْهُمْ تُرِيدُ زِينَةَ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِنَا وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ وَكَانَ أَمْرُهُ فُرُطًا. So here we are going through the 8th principle in the tazkiyah of the nafs and the purification of the nafs. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala made his tarbiyat. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala blessed him with knowledge. Therefore the knowledge was perfect and the tarbiyat was perfect. Such knowledge he gave to the Sahaba, who were ordinary simple people, shepherds who would graze the flock, the livestock, etc. And they became so great with the ilm of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then they stood up in front of the kings of Rome and Persia and spoke to them. Allahu Akbar. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. In such a manner that those rulers of that time, the superpowers of the world, even then became helpless. They entered the court. People were all sitting in their pomp and their glory. And then the Sahabi takes his asa and his stick and he starts moving the silken cloth away. But they saying to him, they kept this in your honor. And then he goes on to say, Nahana Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam an lubsil hariri wa dibaj. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam prohibited us from this wearing of silk, etc. You know, another incident where the luqma, a morsel of food, falls onto the floor. And then the Sahabi picks it up. But then the translator or the ambassador says, but these people are Ajamis, non-Arabs, don't do this in front of them. And the Sahabi goes on to say, why? And will I leave the sunnat of my Nabi because of these foolish people? So look at the sirat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is compiled, it is collected, we have it in front of us, mudawwan. Similarly, the sirat of the Sahaba radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, we read it, we listen to it, it is compiled, it is collected, we have it in front of us. So here Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been ordered to come out from his private chamber, to come and sit with those people who did not even have complete amount of cloth to cover the entire body. However, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was commanded to do so. So we understand that zinat and beauty is not that because of clothes. Rather, the zinat and the beauty is because of that of the heart. So here, wasbir nafsaka, keep yourself, restrain yourself with those who invoke. So, if these words show us that it would be difficult for you to do that, but then too you should do it. Allah Ta'ala selected for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was selected from all because his heart and his soul was the purest. And thereafter Allah Ta'ala selected for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then starting right from the top, Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala an, Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an, and the silsila goes on. إِذَا سَخَّرَ اللَّهُ لِسَعِيدٍ فَكُلُّهُمْ سُعَدَاءُ. When Allah Ta'ala chooses for a fortunate person, Allah Ta'ala chose for Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then those people who rallied around him, فَكُلُّهُمْ سُعَدَاءُ, all of them were most definitely successful. وَلَا تُطِعْ مَنْ أَغْفَلْنَا قَلْبَهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِنَا So keep yourself with those who invoke their sustainer morning and evening, seeking his countenance, and let not your eyes overlook them, seeking the adornment of this worldly life, and pay no heed to the one whose heart we have rendered heedless of our remembrance, who follows his own lusts, and whose case exceeds all bounds. So also here we learn that we should not turn to those who are heedless. We should be in the company of those who are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala morning and evening. Now this is an ayat of the Quran Majid. Is this not suluk and tasawwuf? Hazrat Maulana Fazlur Rahman Ganj Muradabadi would say that suluk and tasawwuf, the Quran is suluk and tasawwuf. Allahu Akbar. And Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib's mizaj, his temperament was the same as that. Hazrat Tanvi rahimahullah used to say that a person should adopt the companionship of the pious. If he does not find the seniors, then he should even sit in the companionship of the juniors. Like just how here, was there anyone greater than Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? No, never. But then to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was said to sit in the company of the juniors, the Sahaba. Now, قال السعدي في تفسير الآية. As-Sa'di rahimahullah says in the tafsir of this ayat that this verse instructs us to be in the company of the good people and to impose on the self and the nafs to remain in their company and intermingle with them even if they are poor. This is because there are countless benefits of being in their company. فَإِنَّ فِي صُحْبَتِهِم مِّنَ الْفَوَائِدِ مَا لَا يُحْصَى. Allahu Akbar. Today, there are such type of gadgets that even our children and the youth have become restless. Alhamdulillah, up till now I have the taaleem of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah with me in front of me, that when this type of pictures etc. would come into the newspaper, he picked up the newspaper and then he would say, Hatao, take this away from me. On one occasion, that was the hifazat of the eyes that he had. And then what about the hifazat and the protection of the ears? On one occasion, we were in the flat, in the apartment upstairs, and the sound of music was coming. And then what did he say? Ab, kaise bacha jaye? Now what would we do? How are we going to save ourselves? This was his concern and his fikr. On one occasion, we were in Ahmedabad. And then it was Habib Bhai's dukan, and it was his shop. And he called us there. And they have these dolls, these mujassamas, which they dress with these outfits, etc. And then I refused to enter that shop. But what I want to tell you, this is the difference between us here and the people in Gujarat. So anyway, I went. I did not enter that shop. They went to the last point, doing this, doing that, until they removed everything from that shop. And they come to me 2 in the morning and they say, Hazrat, this is what we called you for, but unfortunately but we fixed that up. We fixed it up and I went. Labbo band, gosh band, chashm band, gar nabini noor haq, barman bakhand. Zap your mouth, plug your ears, shut your eyes, meaning talk no evil, listen to no evil, look at no evil. Then too, if you do not see the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do me a favor, laugh at me, meaning this is so tried and tested and experienced, mujarrab, laugh at me. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to say that in this time, the Islah of the Ummah is munhasir and confined to the dhikr of the dozakh and Jahannam. But today we don't even speak about it. Jannat and Jahannam, who makes mention of it? An alim came to Hazrat Tanvi and he said that Hazrat, Allah has mentioned so much of makes so much mention of Jannat and Jahannam, but today the Maulvis don't do that. Hazrat Tanvi replied and acknowledged. He said, Baat to sahi. what you're saying is definitely true. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, this comes in Hujjatullah al-Baligha. She says initially, in the initial stages of Islam, so many ayat of the Quran Majid was revealed that regarding Jannat and Jahannam. So many ayat regarding Jannat and Jahannam. So many ayat of Jahannam was revealed, so that so many ayat of Jahannam was revealed, so that the hearts were gripped with the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so many ayat of Jannat was mentioned that people's hearts were filled with shauq and zawq, enthusiasm, so that they could then they walked in the direction of good. Now, yeah, Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha is mentioning this, but nobody else mentions and speaks about this. Most definitely, she was a faqihah. She was a great jurist. You know, a very senior person. He started speaking about Hazrat Aisha and then started enumerating her qualities, saying she was a traditionist, muhadditha, faqihah, she was a jurist, etc. But himself, he wasn't a Sufi, so he left that part out, that she was a Sufi. You know, Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma asks for permission to enter the private chamber of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. In which condition was she at that time? In the last moments of her life. Nevertheless, she denies it. They don't allow him, because he'll come in here and he'll start praising me. And then people said this and that, and eventually he was allowed. When he came in, he done exactly that. He started praising her. So many ayat of the Quran were revealed regarding your chastity. It was because of your barakat, tayammum came. This, that and the other. And then she said, did I not tell you people that he'll come and he'll praise me? And I want to now meet my Allah in such a way that I'm nasyam mansiya. I'm gone and forgotten. Allahu Akbar. And today how much we are running for praise? And at the time of her death, she doesn't want praise. Allahu Akbar. وَالذَّاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ. And those males who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abundantly, and the females, Allah ta'ala has prepared for them أَعَدَّ اللَّهُ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةً, forgiveness, وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا, and a great reward. So this talim is not only for the males, it's for the females as well. Not only for the people of the khanqa, rather for the people in the bazaar and the marketplace. Not only for the people of the shahr and the city, rather for the people of the villages as well. They should not think we in the village, it's so dark here, nobody can see us. Allahu Akbar. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam left the house. His beloved wife, which is our mother, was engaged in dhikr. After some many long hours that had passed, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam comes close to mid-morning, which he had left her after the Fajr Salat, and he finds her in the same place in the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he says to her that you are here so long, why didn't you say these few kalimat? It will be equal to all this time that you were sitting here. He made the deen simple. He made the deen clear, and this deen is so clear. Layluha kanahariha, the night of it is as clear as that of the day. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was zakira. She was the one who remembered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abundantly. She would spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abundantly. On one occasion we learn she sent something with the slave or the assistant. This person takes the gift, presents it. She comes then back, and then Hazrat Aisha immediately asked, tell me, what did they say? And then they say that they made dua for you, to which Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha immediately answers that dua with another dua. Meaning that, listen, this is an exchange for that, and let my sadaqah and my charity, that money that I sent to her, be khalis for Allah, that I can find that on the day of Qiyamah. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha advises Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala by saying that if a person telling him does something to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala will most definitely be pleased. And the makhluk who will be displeased, Allah ta'ala will make them pleased. Allahu Akbar. And if a person does something to please the makhluk are there, Allah ta'ala will most definitely become displeased. But Allah ta'ala will also make it such that the makhluk will eventually become displeased with him. Allahu Akbar. This is Hazrat Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha. Now a person came and then look at the zehn. Look at his mentality and his mind. Ghalat zehniyat. He comes and he speaks about Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an. I quoted this to you now. And then he says that Ali radiyallahu ta'ala an keh chuke. Meaning Ali radiallahu ta'ala also done this type of thing, meaning negative remark regarding Ali radiallahu ta'ala an. When I said this to Hazrat Maulana Ali Miya Sahab, relating this here to him, what did he say? He held his hands in astonishment that what are people saying? We're speaking about this very Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, which we all say is the muntaha and right at the pinnacle and the heights of our silsila. Allahu Akbar. So we are speaking about companionship of the pious. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has mentioned الرجل على دين خليله فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. A person follows the ways of his friend. You should therefore be vigilant on whom you befriend. Now Hazrat Wala is saying that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah used to quote this incident abundantly to us, that there was a person, certain alim, and then he comes and it is the time of iftar. He comes and visits his friend. His friend looks at him and calculates something is definitely dreadfully wrong. And then he says that eat, and he refuses to eat. So he understands the severity of the situation. So he says to him, and that was actually the fact, that it looks like you have left Islam, but I'm asking you to eat, at least eat. But the next morning, please go to Sheikh Fadlur Rahman Ganj Alahbadi. But nevertheless, we learn from this particular waqia, what was it? He read something from certain kitab which was not kosher, which was not supposed to be read, which was not in line with the teachings of our ulama and our akabirin, due to which it led to his apostasy and irtidad. Allahu Akbar. Now these people in their jalsazi, these type of different challenges and webs and traps that they are putting for the believing people, it seems like they're becoming successful because our people are falling into those traps. Allahu Akbar. So Hazrat Tanvi is saying that if you do not find a senior, then even then sit in or with the junior. صحبة صالح ترى صالح كند صحبة طالح ترى طالح كند. The companionship of a saintly person will make you saintly, and the companionship of an irreligious person will make you irreligious and take you far away. Salih salah se bhi barkar. That a saintly person is even greater than the good itself, because the salah and the good, the foundation of it actually comes from the saintly person. Allahu Akbar. So this is the tariq of and the path of our Buzurgan-e-Din. Rather, our Buzurgan-e-Din are all subservient and they are tabi' of this path because it is the path of Quran and Sunnah. So Abu Sulaiman Khattabi says that you should befriend a person whose religiosity and trustworthiness you are satisfied with. When you befriend him, he will inevitably draw you towards his religion and creed. Do not be deluded into having confidence about your own religiosity, nor put yourself into danger by befriending someone whose religion and creed is disliked. Now, this is why Sayyidina Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala said, you may gauge people by the friends they keep, because a person only befriends someone whom he likes. Now, Abu Musa radiyallahu ta'ala narrates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the similitude of a good companion and an evil companion is like that of a perfumer or an ironmonger. The perfumer will either give you some perfume that you may purchase it from him, or at least you will inhale a good fragrance from him. As for the one who blows the bellows, he will either burn your clothes or you will inhale a foul smell from him. Now Qazi Iyaz rahimahullah said in the explanation of this hadith that this hadith teaches us to abstain from intermingling with evil people, sitting in the company of mischief mongers, those who introduce innovation in Islam, the people who backbite. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Wala there says, okay, let me just complete that. This is because the influence of all these will penetrate the one who sits in their company. The hadith encourages us to sit in the company of good people from whom we will acquire knowledge, etiquette, good manners and praiseworthy characteristics. So here, ghibat. There are very few people that actually stay away from ghibat. Now Imam Bukhari rahimahullah said, I quote this in the Bukhari Khatams when I go, that Imam Bukhari rahimahullah said that Allah Ta'ala will not question me regarding ghibat. Allah Ta'ala will not question me regarding ghibat. Now Allama Shahrani says that a person who is safe from the evil characteristic of ghibat and backbiting, his maqam is the maqam and the station of the Siddiqeen. Now itna bara admi, a man of such great stature and of such great capacity, Imam Bukhari, and he was teased and troubled so much that they did not leave him in peace anywhere. Wherever he went, they troubled him, so much so that in the end he said, "Oh Allah, this earth has become narrowed for me. Oh Allah, take me away, take me towards you, lift me away, take me into the akhirat now." Meaning, from all of this we learn that it is not only regarding evil people that people backbite. They done this ghibat to Imam Bukhari rahimahullah. Now Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to fear so much about this, and he even said that about the hadith he used to quote about bad khulki of the abhorrent character, a person who has undesired, terrible character, bad khulki. When that person is taken and thrown into Jahannam, the people of Jahannam will be troubled so much because he will enter into Jahannam and he will bring along with him such a stench that the people of Jahannam will never be able to tolerate that. Allahu Akbar. Now he ends off this particular part by saying, the author, Arab Alim, saying, "It is therefore a person's duty to seek out friends who will help him in doing good. They are one of the greatest means. They are one of the greatest means for the tazkiyah, the purification and rectification of the nafs. He must be wary of intermingling with evil people and corrupt company, because they are more dangerous to him than even kharash, this scabies." Allahu Akbar. Now this kitab came along, and at that time Mufti Zainul Islam, Maulana Abdul Rashid, all of us got together and we made mehnat on the tarjuma and tried to make it as simple and salis as possible. Here, I am so pleased that all of you people have arrived here. So many salihin. You people also make dua for me and for my awlad, that this silsila also continues amongst them. See here in front of me, these grandchildren, this Nawasa, this one, that one, so many of them. Let me just tell you also here, my one Nawasa, my one grandson was very, very ill. So much of dua, we were so pareshan about him that even this news has reached the haram for request of duas for him. That's happening on that side. Alhamdulillah is much better now. But on this side, it is taqreeb nikah, the joyful occasion of nikah. Now Maulana Burhanuddin said to Hazrat Maulana Ali Miah Sahab on one occasion that this taqreeb, we say taqreeb nikah actually is said. The wajah tasmiyah is because the relatives who are close relatives, your close relatives, they all come close and they share in this occasion. But nevertheless, I gave you people taklif, you people came. Nevertheless, I would say that this path that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab left us on, I wish to stay on this path. And I don't wish to move from this path the amount of the breadth of a hair, one hair, a single strand of hair. Allahu Akbar. Allah Ta'ala keep us like this. And some little Duljatan, Subah and Sham, morning and evening, the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Sahaba did not only make jihad, rather tasbihat fil khalawat. In their moments of solitude, there was abundant of dhikr. And it comes in the hadith that they asked Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam to, the deen has become so vast, and advise us. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that your tongue should be continuously moist with the remembrance and the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another hadith says, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam says to us, ittaqillaha haythuma kunta, fear Allah wherever you may be. You know, whenever I'm on the airplane, I think about this, that you are there in the airplane and look at this here, what is presented there and what's happening there. There is liquor, there is this, there is that. I think of this hadith at that time. Ittaqillaha haythuma kunta, fear Allah wherever you may be. Wa atbi'i sayyi'ata al-hasanata tamhuha, and follow up a sin with a good deed. Wa khaliqin nas bi khuluqin hasan, and meet people with the best of character. Stay in the company of saintly and pious people. Make dua. So many of my family, children, grandchildren have all arrived. And these ones, this one here also, has entered into the silsila, this grandchildren of mine. They came and you people have come. It has brought great happiness to me and I'm deeply affected by this. Allah Ta'ala grant us salvation from all zahiri and batini bimari. And Allah Ta'ala establish the ilm of deen in our heart. This Arabic language is amazing. It is the language of the Quran, the language of the Hadith, the tongue, mother tongue and language of our Nabi, and the language of the Akhirat as well. Now how it is, we're staying in the Arab, we're staying in Arab, in the Middle East, but we don't even know the language of the Quran. Why? بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with this ilm haqq and give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of amal haqq. Allah Ta'ala keep us established on the deen. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين. Oh Allah, grant righteousness to our dhurriyat and our progeny, all my progeny, O Allah. And in this particular matter, we hand it over to you totally and completely, O Allah. Inni tubtu ilayka, we made tawbah to you and we from amongst the Muslims. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم أصلح لي شأني كله ولا تكلني إلى نفسي طرفة عين ولا تنزع مني صالح ما أعطيتني ولا تفتني فيما أحرمتني. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.